Let's review some travel fragrances today. 8 fragrances from Sephora. Most of these are brand new, and whether or not I think that they would be full bottle worthy. Hello my gorgeous ones, welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews. Are they worth full-size bottles? Rundowns, all sorts of fun stuff. If that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, so your girl is notorious for blind buying full-size bottles. I have gotten better about also ordering samples, much better. If it's a real expensive niche fragrance, if we're talking a fragrance over $200 that I don't know if I'm going to be able to find on sale or not, I'm probably going to get a sample first when it comes to that. Otherwise, I'm just one of those that does really like to gamble with, not with my money, with actual gambling, but in actual gambling with blind buys. It's thrilling for me. I don't recommend it for everyone. I know it can be a waste of money for a lot of people. I'm usually fairly good about choosing my blind buys. I do have fails here or there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have decluttered videos. But when it comes to travels, a lot of times I don't think to get travels, even though I do have quite a few. I'm just one that's like, oh, I want the actual pretty bottle. But for these fragrances, I was like, I'm not about to spend thousands of dollars on the full size. Let me go ahead and get the travels. I can give you guys my reviews. If I don't love it, at least it was just a travel and not a full size. So I do have 8 of these, and hopefully it's still in time for some of you for the Sephora sale. If you guys are looking into purchasing some fragrance, or I might de-influence you as well, because I do not love all of these. And yeah, let's just go ahead and let's get into it. So the first 2 that I actually want to share with you, I did not purchase. The rest of the 6 I did. These 2 are from Boy Smells. I didn't get them directly from them. I am part of something called Skeepers, and sometimes they have perfumes on there that if you grab it in time, you don't even have to apply for it. You just get it sent to you, but then you have to do a review. I always give a very honest review. I don't think everyone does that is on Skeepers. I do not think you always review honestly. But we have Boy Smells Cocoa Cream, and then we have Boy Smells Rosy Cheeks. I really like both of these. I think out of the 2, my favorite is probably the Cocoa Cream, because I just love a coconut scent, a really good coconut scent. And this is a very smooth, silky. It's milky, silky, smooth. You have the tiara flower and white flowers in here, so it definitely has all of those kind of traditional notes for that beachy, kind of sunscreeny vibe. But then you have some tonka in here as well, and it is just beautiful. It is so beautifully blended. There's a lot of fragrances out there like this. It's nothing completely new, and actually I own a lot of this DNA. I kind of cannot stop purchasing that sort of profile, like the tiara, vanilla, coconut, musk, ylang, like those type of fragrances. I'm gonna do a video on them eventually, like my beachy fragrances that fall into that category. I probably have like 15. So I know I don't need a full size of this, but it is so beautiful. It is probably one of the silkiest and smoothest like this that I have ever smelled. So if you love a sunscreeny sort of vibe, that coconut thing and the tropical florals, but you want something silky and milky and almost like it's like flowing, I would recommend this. It's maybe not the most long lasting fragrance. I personally got, about 4 hours wear time out of this. I have a friend who thought it disappeared quicker than that. So that might be a factor to you, but I don't mind respraying. I think it smells so good for summertime. The other one that we have here is the Rosy Cheeks, and I really like this one as well. This is a very fruity, uplifting, fun, young rose scent. This is a very easy rose to wear. I know rose can be difficult for some, and rose can go in all different directions. It can read older, it can read vintage. This is youthful, fruity rose. It doesn't smell the most sophisticated, but it smells really, really good. Now, at the time I'm filming this, I don't have the actual notes because I did get this quite a bit before actual launch date, but I think there is some sandalwood in here, cassis, of course the rose, and it's really kind of jammy, red fruits. Really, it feels kind of exuberant, like it kind of gives off this fun energy to it. I actually really, you guys, I like this a lot. Like I almost picture a fruit roll-up type of fruit, like all concentrated in there and just like, it packs like a lot of punch to it. It's not quite a fruit punch, but it's kind of giving me the Skittles that are in the purple bag, like those type of berries all together with a hint of the rose going on in the background and some sandalwood kind of smoothing things out. It's a pretty smooth sandalwood. It's not like a pickly, like in your face tart sandalwood. It's actually a really, really gorgeous fragrance. I think it's a crowd pleaser for those that are kind of scared of rose but want to do rose and still like something fun and fruity. Then I think that you would really, really like the Rosy Cheeks. Now on the opposite end of the spectrum, I think with rose, we have Rose Whip by Fleur. And I like this. It's more sophisticated than the Boy Smells. It has more depth to it. It's definitely darker, more grown up. The rose really stands out more in this, and there is a spiciness going on here. I know there's some osmanthus that gives it almost like a honeyed spice-like quality with the amber and the kind of woody base to it. There's some black currant, but it's giving a Delina flanker a little bit. I could really see this actually maybe a little too close to Delina where you feel like you're repeating yourself. I don't know that everyone would like this because it does have this sort of leathery quality to it. I like that about it. I like the depth that it gives, but I also just don't think it smells that original. I was expecting, I don't know, I was just expecting something kind of new. Like this seemed like darker for Fleur a little bit with the black bottle and like Rose Whip. I think some people might have thought like a whipped cream, but I think that they might be going with like a whip, like a leathery dark whip. And I see that. It's like, this is sort of femme fatale rose vibes. It's pretty, it's elegant, sophisticated, a little bit on the dangerous, naughty side, but I do think you have to like rose quite a bit and the spiciness with it. All right, now we have the new Kilian. This is the Sun Kiss Goddess. I bought this in a travel because, I mean, full size, you were talking high dollar. Even the travel is 50 bucks. I did get the 20% off with my Rouge discount, but that's still, you guys, still expensive. It really is. And okay, I go so back and forth on this fragrance. I definitely don't dislike it. I like this fragrance for sure. That's set in stone. I like this fragrance. I go back and forth on, do I like it, but it's kind of a little weird and that's why I don't love it? Or do I love it because it is kind of a little weird? I know that's kind of confusing, but this has all of those traditional notes again of a beachy fragrance, like the coconut, tiare, ylang, there's some bergamot. So you might be thinking, oh, it's just gonna be like your typical sunscreeny scent. And you do have that going on in here, but you also have neroli and you have some labdanum and gaiac wood, which that's the weird part that comes in. There's something strange about this that I kept smelling and I was like, okay, the neroli's sticking out. It's not incredibly bitter, but it's giving it this edge to it, right? And then the labdanum with the gaiac wood kind of gives it this exotic feel. And it's almost like maybe those three notes and the sunscreeny traditional beachy vibes are kind of clashing a little bit. But then it's also really interesting. And I kept wanting to smell it. So I definitely like it. Like I said, I'm not sad at all I bought this travel. I don't know if I would have loved it buying a full size for how expensive it is. I don't think it's blind buy safe. I really think even if you think you love a beachy fragrance, I think you need to smell this in person. You know, at the very least, get a travel instead of a full size, and you may end up loving it. I'm just still on the fence with it. I'm glad that it's not just another in the repertoire of like all of my beachy fragrances that kind of smell similar. So, but it is a little strange. And I think you can't hate neroli, I don't think, and love this. If you hate neroli, I do not think that you're gonna like this. But if you love it, you may love it. All right, you guys, I think this is probably my biggest disappointment, even though I don't hate it. I do like this fragrance, but is the Replica Never Ending Summer. The reason why is I think this smells great. It's a very fresh, kind of clean, airy, beachy winds passing by you orange fragrance. But I feel like I've smelled this so many times. I think it leans masculine. It is unisex, but if I had to pick, I think it leans masculine, which I actually like a lot of unisex leaning masculine fragrances. So it's not that I can't wear it. It's just how many fragrances out there for men have citrus and vetiver as really strong players. That's in so many fragrances, and that sticks out the most to me. I don't get a ton of booziness out of this, like an Aperol Spritz sort of vibe that some people said this is really boozy. Maybe my nose is immune to it. I smell more just like the peeling of an orange, so very, very orange peel dominant, where it fragrances the air when you're peeling the orange. It's very fresh. The vetiver is very smooth, very, very, very smooth. So like they blend great, but you guys, like, I just smelled it so many times. So I'll wear it. I like it. I'm very glad I did not buy this in full size. I considered it. It's not that I would have hated it. It's just I would have been like, man, I thought this would be something different. So if you've never smelled a fragrance like this, you may really love it, but you've probably smelled this before. Now this one, at first I thought I kind of hated it, and then it grew on me. But very glad I did not buy it full size. This is the Jo Malone Beach Blossom. I thought this was going to be, it's supposed to be coconut water, lime, sort of like sands vibes, and I even don't really love smelling it out of the atomizer, to be honest. It smells kind of like a dated men's cologne. I really don't like it whenever I first sprayed it. As it set down and I was going about my business, I kept catching a very fresh whiff. I smell no coconut in this. Now it's coconut water. So a lot of times coconut water is extremely subtle. Like you're getting a very thinned out, sort of aquatic splash of a coconut scent when it's coconut water, but I get no coconut whatsoever. I get more of this sort of driftwood vetiver with a squeeze of lime, and heavy on the kind of manliness of this. So like I said, as it dried down later on, I did find it fresh. It wasn't off-putting, but it was not what I was expecting. And again, I just don't think it's very unique. There's a lot of fresh, driftwoody, vetiver, sea salty lime. It kind of reminds me of Skylar's Lime Sands with less lime and just more masculine qualities to it. All right, now this one I think is a winner. I do really like this fragrance. This is Dead Coals Mochi Milk, and this is Marshmallow, Vanilla Bean, Sweet Rice Milk. At least those are the main notes, and that may be everything because they keep their notes minimalistic. All right. This is very sweet. Very, very sweet. Very sweet. When I first sprayed it, I mean, I was like, ooh, girlfriend gonna get a toothache in her nose. Like, this is sweetness amplified. And what it reminds me of right in the beginning, another Skylar fragrance is Skylar Boardwalk, which is cotton candy. And I thought, take the Skylar Boardwalk Cotton Candy that whenever I smell that one, I think more of this granulated sugar. I mean, you know how if you eat cotton candy and it dissolves, you feel the grittiness on your tongue and those sugar crystals, you know, come out. And that's how that fragrance smells to me. Almost like a pepper, not peppery, but like sprinkled sugar cotton candy. This smells like a very smoothed out, silky, kind of milky version, but not very lactonic. It's just like a really smoothed out version of Boardwalk. And then I couldn't smell the rice, and I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, I wanted that rice. I wanted that unique kind of exotic rice quality to it and that starchiness to come out more. I'd say after about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I would smell it sometimes and then not smell it others. So like I go like this, I'm like, oh, there's the rice. And then I go back, I'm like, where did it go? There's the rice, where did it go? So it kind of comes in and out, at least on my skin. And I do feel like it kind of started to balance that sweetness a little bit. But this is another one that as I was going about my business, I was like, oh my gosh, I smell so good. Wow, like it is sweet, but I smell amazing. Now, I had on the Never Ending Summer, so think very citrusy orange on my hand, and then I had Mochi Milk kind of further down here on my wrist into my arm. When those two, when I do this and they mixed in the air, it was beautiful. I don't think that they are layering fragrances. Like I wouldn't spray one on top of the other, but I think what was creating some magic is a little bit of a citrus to this, a little bit of orange, and I think that kind of helped with the sweetness. I think this wood layer was something orange, tangerine, lime even, then you would get this like sweet with that punch of that citrus like together. I just kind of imagine, since this isn't a cotton candy fragrance, but just kind of imagine like cotton candy with just like a little of something citrusy with it, like how that would be like, whoa. And I thought that it was beautiful together. So I think this is a gorgeous fragrance, but be warned, this is very, very sweet, but it doesn't smell synthetic and it doesn't smell cheap. All right, my last one is definitely full bottle worthy. I think out of all of them, this is probably my favorite, and that is Brown Girl Jane's Carnivale. Or should I be putting that E? Is it really just Carnival or is it Carnivale? Because it's Carnival with an E. I'm gonna cover my bases and say both. So Brown Girl Jane, I love. I mean, I love Casino. I love Carousel, and I really wanted to pick this up during the sale since I knew I loved those other two. The notes are right here, so I'm just going to read them. Caribbean mango, jasmine, nectar, amber, ginger, whipped musk, golden pimento, creamy sandalwood, and vanilla. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. In a way, it kind of reminds me, oh gosh, it's so pretty. It kind of reminds me of some of those classic beachy fragrances, but turned on its head. So as I've been saying, there's so many in that profile where they all kind of smell the same. It doesn't have like the coconut and the tiare and the Elaine, like those fragrances, and like salt and musk that kind of give those all the same vibes. but it's like it kind of has this beachiness to it, but with this exciting twist of that mango that is not a dripping sweet ultra mango that's like synthetic. Like mango can be kind of hard sometimes. It's more of like maybe mango skin, and that pimento gives it like a little bit of pepperiness or spice without being your traditional spice added to fragrances. Like I love pimento in a fragrance. It's a very specific sort of spice that it gives. It's different than pepper and different than resinous spiciness and all that. It's just like a little kick. It's almost like if you squeeze a little Tabasco on your food. I mean, it doesn't smell like Tabasco, but you know, Tabasco just gives it that little kick. That's what the pimento does. It's very exciting. It's like it does kind of smell like you should be at a carnival. You know, it smells like not a carnival, like step right here, win yourself a goldfish, it's gonna die tomorrow. Like more of like carnival, like Brazil, like carnival, like your feathers and excitement. Like there's a lot of life to this and exuberance and exotic. Gorge. I love this fragrance. So definitely my favorite. I would definitely own this in a full size in a heartbeat. My favorite out of the all 8s, but I did have quite a few winners in here, but ultimately this was kind of a mixed bag. Some of them I'd want in a full size. Some of them I'm so glad I just bought the travel. So, you know, I hope this helps you guys if you were planning on picking up some of these with the sale. If you thought you were going to go full size, maybe just get a travel as well, or maybe run into the store if you can and smell it first. You guys have to let me know if you had your noses on any of these. Let me know in the comments. I thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.